Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is G. I'm a teacher in real life, but now that I'm on some break, I will be posting more videos on YouTube. And what I really like to focus on is talking about the shady and manipulative and predatory practices of MLMs. If this sort of stuff is interesting to you, then I hope that you'll stay. I hope that you enjoy the video. And if you do, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. All of that really helps my channel. My goal for the summer is to try to hit at least 200 subscribers. That would be cool. But I also understand the subscribers will come when my videos are good. I am going to be using this summer to get better and try to hone in and figure out what type of video creator I want to be. So anyway, so sorry for that really long intro. In today's video, I wanted to read an MLM horror story with you all. And also, sorry about my squeaky chair. I have such a squeaky chair and I really need a new one. So that's also on my list for things to get done this summer. But anyway, I want to share with you a horror story today, and it's about multi-level marketing, but it's a little bit different than what it usually looks like. And also, one more thing before we get started, I wanted to start something on my YouTube channel because does anyone else collect these Starbucks mugs? So we collect them, and I have so many of these mugs from different places, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun when I make videos to use a different mug and be drinking something, and then maybe at the end of the video I can share a story with you all about that mug or about that trip. So this mug is the New York City mug, and my story that also has to do with New York and multi-level marketing, I'm gonna share with you at the end of the video. So if you're curious, hang on until the end. First off, I wanna say thank you to the person who posted this. I'm gonna give them a shout out right here. It's really great when people post their experiences because then I feel like it really helps us share this information with each other and then know what to be on the lookout for. But as I'm sure you guys know, raising awareness is amazing, talking about these things are amazing, but we also have to follow it up with action, with reporting things to the FTC, and with going through those legal avenues, as well as sharing our frustrations and our horror stories. So I'm going to leave a video down below that has some really good steps on how to report to the FTC. But for now, let's go back to the horror story, 8 Steps to Success. Fully end up being worse off than you started. And though there is a very detailed list here, I'm going to come back to the list and read it after. Recently joining this thread made me think about my stint in an MLM, naively believing I'm going to become the newest and most successful business partner. Now this isn't an MLM that's usually discussed on here. For starters, I'm in the UK, and for seconds, I was a chugger. For those who aren't familiar with the term, a chugger equals charity mugger. People that stand on the street with pop-up stands they call events and hound poor passersby into signing up to pretty hefty monthly donations, albeit to good causes. So I read this before, I'm reading this with you now, and after I finished reading that paragraph, I was getting similar vibes to the experience that happened to me relating to this mug, but it also reminded me of a movie that I've watched called The Slave Circle. It's a really, really good documentary about multi-level marketing, except it's not multi-level marketing in the sense that a lot of people tend to think immediately. For example, the whole independent distributor, you sign up and then you get your friends to buy your products through your website link and stuff like that. The Slave Circle really talks more about the side of multi-level marketing where you are actually going and putting in tons of hours of your time into marketing for a company and trying to sell these products. So I had this sense that that's where we were going with this story, and it turns out I was actually right. So I'm going to talk more about the Slave Circle at the end. But let's continue. The structure is exactly the same as with a product-based MLM. We had our leaders, or upstreams, who had to sell a certain amount for 2 weeks to qualify into that position. Then they recruit into their team, make profit off the recruits, yada yada, whatever. Unlike product-based MLMs, however, there's no joining/buy-in fee. right? So in the traditional ones that I'm sure a lot of people think of, we think of something where you buy the product pack, you sign up to become a distributor. This one isn't so much like that. It's where you're going, and the investment that you're giving is really your time. I joined them when I was looking for a job, and somehow they found my resume, reached out, and got me into an interview. We're only selecting 3 people from these interviews. So if you're lucky enough to be selected, make sure to make yourself available. These super selective interviews happen daily, a constant flow of naive people who actually think they're going to make money. The owner of this particular business was an early 20-something bloke who moved to my town from another place in the country to start this venture and brought his top recruits with him. They all lived in the same house, came to work together, spent 12 plus hours a day in the field, surrounding towns bothering people, and in the office. The complete control he had over them, and then subsequently dizzies or distributors like myself, was astounding. Charming guy though, can't argue that. You can choose to earn a monthly base over commission, but most reps choose the commission. Biggest lie ever. The job was and always will be commission only. We teach you how to pitch and get 3 to 5 signups. Each signup brings you 35 pounds, which can equate to you earning 150 pounds or more a day. Here I'm thinking, sweet, that's going to pay my debts and help plan for the future. Again, for a starter salary of a uni graduate, 800 pounds per week was unheard of, so very tempting. And I can't stress this enough when I think about how MLM companies prey on people. They go after people who are inexperienced and who are motivated, ambitious, driven, hardworking, such as college students. They are willing to put in the hard work, and at the same time, they don't know when something is a little too good to be true. So they're a perfect target, and I just think it is so messed up. And if you have any morals to you whatsoever, first of all, don't be in an MLM, but second of all, don't go after the people who are just trying to get their lives started in the first place. Back to the story. I lasted 9 weeks. 9 weeks of traveling all over the place, leaving at 7 a.m. and coming home just before 9 p.m., having earned 35 pounds for the whole day. Sometimes nothing at all, which usually ended up being more like 20 pounds anyway, once you deduct travel costs and lunch. Once myself and a few others had the initial training, the owner led a meeting where he outlined that we are definitely not a pyramid scheme. His reasoning was that the structure is a ladder that suspiciously looks like a pyramid, and there's no buy-in fee. Fine. But the leaders always made money off the dizzies. He made money off the leaders, and his mentor made money off of all of us. Yeah, that's a pyramid scheme. Our generous sponsor for allowing all of that to happen was none other than Credico. This is the moment where I had the realization, oh my gosh, this is the same company that is mentioned in the documentary The Slave Circle. And this company is also part of a larger network of other companies that are called what is it called? They're the Devil Corp, part of a group of other network marketing companies known as the Devil Corp. Okay, anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about. Our generous sponsor for allowing all of that to happen was none other than Credico. It markets itself, in the UK anyway, as a field marketing specialist, and actual Credico US takes no responsibility for the individual reps, as each business is independently owned. It's not. Credico still owns everyone. Okay, just want to take a quick pause here to talk about that point. When things go wrong with the company, let's say you bought products from somebody, and let's say Monet for an example. One of the ways that the MLM will cover its own ass, excuse my language, but one of the ways that it's going to cover its bases, there we go, is by making sure that if anything goes wrong, none of the blame is going to be on the company Monet. It's going to be on Sally Sue, who's the individual distributor. Oh no, it's not our products that did anything wrong. It was Sally Sue. She was the one that did the wrong thing, and that's not a reflection on us, it's a reflection on her. So it's a very clever way to put some distance between the company and then all of the problems that happen. After 9 weeks of insufferably long hours, being told I made no sales due to my attitude, whilst we stood outside in the pouring rain when no sane soul would venture out of their house. Calls after I got home to go over the day, and homework on weekends. I decided to throw in the towel. I lived with my partner and we figured out the extra 100 pounds a week, LOL, just wasn't worth this. 100 pounds a week, you guys. We're going to divide here 100 divided by 7 days. Okay, so that's about 14 pounds. We're talking pounds because this happened in the UK. 14 pounds a day. You can't live off of that. I guess I did learn how to speak to strangers, which is long-term useful, and got a hell of a lot of fresh air. But I did make friends, and it was a shame to lose them. Once a person leaves, they are never spoken of, and you're quite literally forbidden from seeing them. Not that you'd have time. They are negs, negative energy, who you don't want to associate with, as they will bring you down. You don't need that in your circle. The business is all you need. Pig at the top is something we had to copy word for word into our notebooks and learn off by heart, along with sales theories we had drilled into us day in and day out. Wow. So a few things. First of all, yay for this person at getting out, and honestly for having such an awesome attitude about it. This is what I would call having a growth mindset if I were in the classroom with my students, is when you look at a situation that didn't work out, or you look at a situation and you think, how can I grow from it? What can I learn from it? That every mistake is a learning opportunity. That's a really great perspective to have. But so many culty things, especially as we got to the end right there, which is that once a person leaves, you're basically excommunicated, and they are called negs. Like the fact that they have that terminology, it reminds me of the terminology like the suppressives, right, from Scientology. And I think in Nexium, they also called them suppressives as well, right? Anybody off the top of your head remember that? Let me know. But anyway, now let's go back to the 8 steps to success. I actually want to just read through each one with you all, because remember, this is something that they have to literally copy word for word. They have to copy this shit every word for word, over and over and over and over again. It's literal indoctrination. Okay, let's go ahead and start reading 8 steps to success. Number 1, have a great attitude. Having a great attitude is a choice. Attitude is contagious and will influence others both positively or negatively. Let your attitude work for you and not against you. The better your attitude, the more people will want to listen to your information. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree to some extent, right? You should have a positive attitude when you're in a professional setting and you're trying to do business with other people or perform a service. Like, have a good attitude. But at the same time, I think we know where this is going, right? Especially with these MLMs, which are commercial cults, it's just going into that toxic positivity realm where you're really being conditioned to only see the positive and not focus on the negative, not even talk about the negative, because if you talk about it, then it will happen. So at the surface value, it's like, okay. But deeper, we know it's just laying the groundwork for that toxic positivity. Number 2, be on time. If you are not early, you are late. Part of being that reminds me of Talladega Nights. If you ain't first, you're last. If you are not early, you are late. Part of being successful is setting the right example, and being punctual will give you the time to set and achieve your goals, as well as presenting yourself as a dependable and reliable business partner. Being on time allows you to be prepared and stay focused. At the surface level, yeah, it's great to be on time. It's professional, it's responsible, and it's respectful. But when you're talking about MLMs and commercial cults, they often like to take a lot of your time, and you don't have anything to show for that monetarily. So I feel like this whole be on time thing is kind of like laying the groundwork to give us your time. Number 3, be prepared. Being prepared is important in the process to succeed. This relates to physical preparation as well as mental preparation. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Always aim to put yourself one step ahead by being ready for any situation. Preparation will help you build confidence in the challenges that lie before you. Again, at the face value, yeah, prepare. And that reminds me of a quote by John Wooden, the UCLA coach. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail, right? So you have to prepare. However, I think that this also might be misconstrued in MLMs, and they might use this sort of language to get you to anticipate some of the reasons why people are going to say no, to why they don't want to buy your product, why they don't want to join your team. Anticipate those objections. Be prepared to say no, to be prepared to overcome those objections, basically. So again, on the surface, good, but beneath the surface, we got some scammy intentions there. Number 4, use your working time effectively. A great way to gain respect is through a great work ethic. Put 100% into everything that you do. Working your territory, your attitude, and being a great example in the office and the field. Make every second count and work each day to the fullest. Okay, yes, be an effective worker, but damn, that's a lot of pressure right there. Number 5, work the territory correctly. Your territory represents the area you are working in, specifically the people. Talk to as many people as possible in your territory to work the law of averages. The law of averages. Who did I just see that started talking about this? I think it was a video on Monica Hayworth's channel. I was just watching it when I looked up the Devil Corp companies. But I think in her video, she mentioned the law of averages means that talk to 100 people, and out of those 100 people, 10 will say yes or something like that. I don't know. Something. I know I just watched something. Okay. Anyone has the potential to be a buyer on any given day. Do not prejudge. Oh my gosh. From the time we may have to adapt to the territory like a chameleon and work different skill sets such as adapting to the culture of the community or adding in preemptive strikes. This is the goal of the field, to work on our communication skills. So basically saying pander to the community that you're in and always be ready to make a sale. Don't prejudge people. Anyone is going to be a customer. Yeah, right. Number 6, maintain a positive attitude. Okay, number 1 was have a great attitude. Number 6 is maintain a positive attitude. Dang, so without even reading it, I can already tell that the first one they said have a great attitude. Now they're saying maintain it. So they know that it's going to be hard and you're going to want to be like, oh, this fucking sucks, I'm out. But they're saying, nope, you maintain that attitude. Thinking positively will improve every situation. A great attitude is imperative to succeed, and that's why we focus on improving our attitude constantly. Being able to keep your attitude throughout the whole day can be a challenge. When you lose your attitude, you will start to get frustrated. Remember your goals and stay focused on the bigger picture. The goal is to be able to regain your attitude when you lose it. Remember, attitude is what allows us to connect with customers, and each no gets you closer to a yes. Wow. It also reminds me of Amway and how they had their potential recruits read the book Who Moved My Cheese. This was one of the very first YouTube videos that I made, actually, and I did some digging on that book, and the whole book was such a weird premise. Oh my gosh. Basically, if I'm remembering it correctly, the vibes that I got from it were get used to failure. You're going to fail often, and you just have to be ready to bounce back and keep bouncing back. And I think that it's a little bit scary if you're getting into something new and you need all these constant reminders about potentially failing and how your attitude's gonna change and you're gonna have a bad attitude. That shit would scare me away. Know why you're here and what you're doing. It's extremely important to define why you want to be a part of this business and what you want to achieve within it. Look at your goals in the 3 stages: short-term, mid-term, and long-term. Motivation can come from freedom, fame, fortune, family. Most likely it's a combination of all 4 and will change over time. Make sure to share your goals with a mentor to help hold yourself accountable. Oh my goodness.
Make sure to share your goals with a mentor to help hold yourself accountable.
Now, when I read that, what it makes me think is that your upstreams, your mentors, want to have that information so that when you start feeling like you can't do this, you want to get out, that's the carrot that they're going to dangle over your head. Oh, but you remember all that student debt you have? Didn't you tell me that you wanted to take this opportunity to pay off that debt? If you leave now, how will you do that? How will you go on that vacation? How will you buy your mom that house that you've been trying to buy her? Right? So they will have your goals and they'll hold them over your head, and it'll make you think, oh, okay, you're right. I have these goals. Let me just stick it through. So it's very manipulative. And number 8, oh, this has been a long list. Take control. The ability to influence your decision making, learning to take control, i.e. your pitch, pace, attitude. It is important to take control of your education and development, as this step will determine how effective you are in completing this program. Wow. So just to read that part again, your education and development will determine how effective you are. So right there, it's like they're putting it back on you. Your level of effectiveness in this company is going to be based on how much work you put in. And I get it. It makes sense, right? You need to prepare, you need to study, you need to put some effort into it so that you can be good at something. But when it comes to MLMs, we know that this is something they say so that when things undoubtedly go down the toilet and someone is not successful, they can blame that individual person by saying they didn't do enough. So it's just putting all of the blame on everyone but the company. That was kind of a lot, and I don't want to make this video too long, but I just want to say these Devil Corp companies are so crazy and interesting to learn about. What's your experience with these companies, everyone? Do you have any stories? Would you like to share those stories with me? I would love to hear from you guys, hear some of your experiences, whether it has to do with one of these devil companies or just a normal MLM company. So if you would like to share that with me and you wouldn't mind if I featured it here, I'm going to go ahead and include my email address below so you can email me. And thank you so much for staying, for watching my video. I hope that you found it entertaining and interesting, and I hope to see you back for the next one. So have a really great day, and I will see you next time. Bye! Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm horrible at things. I wanted to tell you the quick story having to do with this mug. Hopefully the video isn't going to be too long. But anyway, so this mug is from New York, right? And let me just take a quick sip here. I haven't had a chance to take a drink in a second. Oh my gosh, this story's going to take too long. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't want to make this story too freaking long, so let me go ahead and explain the connection with this cup. This cup is from New York, and I'm from California. I live in California. I've always been a California girl, but I have always wanted to go to New York. Originally, when I was applying to colleges, I wanted to go to NYU so bad, and then I saw their out-of-state tuition, and I was like, that's not happening. But anyway, I actually went to New York as a teacher on a trip, a professional development trip to the Columbia University Teachers College. And this was shortly after my husband and I got married. So this was kind of like our unofficial honeymoon where I was working, and I know it's like so depressing, like, oh, you were attending a class on your honeymoon. But he was leaving on his deployment, like literally the day after we came back from New York, he left for his deployment. So we just squeezed it in there. I'm gonna put this cup down. But anyway, before we got to New York, the day before we left, we were still in California, and we went to a Walmart. We were getting some last minute things. I don't know, something like that. Normally we don't shop at Walmart, and no hate to anyone who does or anything. We don't have one near us where we live, and we usually don't shop there. So we're down south, we're SoCal. We are visiting my mom before we go on this trip. And we go to this Walmart. And you guys are gonna think I'm like the stupidest person. But anyway, we're in this store. And all of a sudden, you can hear somebody over a little speakerphone going, free gift, if you want your free gift, come over here. And I was thinking to myself, free gift? Hell yeah. You guys, I like free things. And I was thinking like, you know, Costco has samples. Maybe this is like some sort of free little sample gift. I don't know. So I turned to my husband and I'm like, what is that? Where's that noise coming from? And he is completely not interested. And I'm the one that's like, free gift, come on, like, where's the free gift? So then you see this guy come walking around the corner and he has this little speaker attached to his chest and this little microphone. And he's like, okay, people, if you want your free gift, come on over here, follow me, free gift this way, free gift this way. So I'm thinking, yeah, sure, let me follow this guy. And you guys remember, this is the same exact time where I was still purchasing Rodan and Fields products. I was still getting those messages from my mentor who was like, oh, you would be a great fit for this company. And I was saying, maybe. I had no idea about MLMs at all. So I walked right into this one. And I can see that this guy had this table set up, this whole little section in Walmart. It was set up with a table with all these different kitchen products. And then he says, okay, how many of you want your free gift? You want your free gift? Okay, come over here. Put your hand right here so I can see how many people I need to get this free gift for. You can see where this is going, right? So I go over there, I put my hand there, and you guys, I was one of the first ones to go up there and do this because I was thinking, okay, I'll go in and I'll get out. Perfect, right? This is gonna be so quick. And nope. I go, I put my hand, and then so many other people who were trying to get the free gift like surrounded the whole little area. And I felt like I was in the middle of a mosh pit where nobody was moving, and it was just so awkward. And I have I have issues with people being too close to me. Like, I need my personal space. So I was like, oh, this is horrible, as I had my hand there. And I thought about leaving at that moment, but the thought of having to walk through the crowd and like have my body hit a bunch of other people's bodies, that made me even more like, ugh. So I just stayed there with my hand in that little area waiting for the fucking free gift. And of course, this is not a quick process. The guy starts by showing off one contraption, but wait, we have a special deal, and if you buy it, then you'll get this bonus contraption. But wait, then you'll get this and the free gift. Don't worry, the free gift is coming. But first, let me show you this. The whole time, you guys, standing there like this, like, oh my gosh, when is this gonna end? I look over at my husband, and he's just like the sweetest person ever, but even he's looking at me like, what did you get us into? And he's fine, he's over there not in the mosh pit like I am, but his time is being wasted. And after everything, I honestly want to say it was 30 minutes of that cramped, confined, like, waiting for the free gift, just for it to be the worst made in China, flimsy ass little knife that you've ever seen. And I was like, oh my gosh, how did I fall for that? How did I fall for that? But it, like, the techniques worked, right? Saying free gift. The whole thing about, oh, put your hand here. That was a really genius move that really sealed the deal. If I wasn't stuck right there, physically stuck there, I would have been out of there. But that was a genius move. Oh my gosh, you guys, I hope you don't think I'm like the dumbest person in the world. Like I said, this was right at the time when I was on track to getting involved in RNF and not knowing much about MLMs. Now I know more. Now I'll be prepared for that. But yeah, going back to this mug, the day before we're shipping out to New York, I waste like 30 minutes of our time for a flimsy ass knife that's like so lame. Oh, stupid chair. Shut up. Okay, you guys. Well, sorry that this video was kind of on the longer side. I'm really trying to work on my videos and figure out what my voice is, what I want to say, how I want to structure things. So I appreciate everyone's patience as I figure this out. If you have any tips for me, if you have any feedback, let me know below, you know, what works, what doesn't, because I am just trying to figure out how to be a little bit more proud of the videos I make, you know? So anyway, I'm kind of rambling now, but thank you so much for joining me, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. You guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.